Hello and welcome to DD India. I am Tanvi Taneja and you're watching Voice of the Global South, a show that brings you stories, news, achievements, concerns and aspirations of the developing world. Hamas launched a barrage of rockets at Tel Aviv, prompting a fierce Israeli response. An airstrike on Rafah caused civilian casualties, sparking international concern. Israel says it is thoroughly investigating the matter. Meanwhile, Hamas is ready for a complete agreement if Israel stops the attacks.
As Hamas unleashed a barrage of rockets at the Tel Aviv area earlier this week, Israel responded by launching a fierce attack on Rafah, a city in the southern Gaza Strip, following which over 45 people lost their lives. Located at the southernmost tip of the Gaza Strip, near its border with Egypt, Rafah has become a focal point in the ongoing conflict. The city is historically significant as it's a major crossing point between Gaza and Egypt. It has long been a vital artery for goods and people, especially during the time of blockade. The ongoing conflict in the West Asia has reached a critical point, with tragic consequences unfolding in the region every now and then.
The decision of the World Court is a lie. They are still killing. There are planes 24 hours a day. There are martyrs and killings all the time. There are wounded and injured, children becoming orphaned. Innocent people, they haven't done anything. They were displaced from place to another looking for a living. This one made her brother bread so she can give it to him because of lack of food. The siege after the closure of the Rafah border crossing, which is the lifeline for the people of Gaza, it is their lifeline, they closed it.
The International Court of Justice had previously issued a clear directive ordering Israel to immediately halt its offensive in Gaza, a ruling that Israel continues to challenge. The court's order emphasized the need to protect civilian lives amidst the escalating violence.
The court considered that, in conformity with its obligations under the Genocide Convention, Israel must immediately halt its military offensive and any other action in the Rafah governorate which may inflict on the Palestinian group in Gaza conditions of life that could bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part. The court recalls that in its order of January 26, 2024, it ordered Israel inter alia to, I quote, take effective measures to prevent the destruction and ensure the preservation of evidence related to allegations of acts within the scope of Article 2 and Article 3 of the Genocide Convention. End of quote.
UN Chief Antonio Guterres has strongly condemned the airstrikes and previously said that the horror and suffering must stop immediately.
We want this to stop, right? Whether and that applies to today, yesterday, the day before. We have been very consistent in our call for a ceasefire, for the release of the hostages, for greater humanitarian access.
Israel began ground operations in the eastern areas of the city to destroy the last remaining Hamas battalions and rescue the hostages being held there. A military campaign launched in Gaza to destroy Hamas in response to the group's cross-border attack on southern Israel on October 7, during which about 1,200 people were killed and 252 others were taken hostage. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has called the Rafah incident a tragic mishap. He emphasized that the target was a Hamas compound and that the airstrike was carried out with precise ammunition based on precise intelligence. Netanyahu expressed regret over civilian casualties and pledged an investigation into what went wrong.
In Rafah, we already evacuated about 1 million non-combatants residents, and despite our utmost effort not to harm non-combatants, something unfortunately went tragically wrong. We are investigating the incident and will reach conclusions because this is our policy.
On the new challenge.
Moreover, the Israeli military is investigating the possibility that the munitions stored near a compound in Gaza, which was hit by an airstrike, which may have caused the mishap.
We are working to verify the cause of the fire. It is still too early to be determined. We took a number of steps prior to the strike to avoid civilian casualties: aerial surveillance from above, using specific munitions aimed at minimizing collateral damage, delaying the attack in order to further assess expected civilian presence, and other means.
The tragedy in Rafah underscores the devastating toll of the ongoing conflict, where civilian lives are caught in the crossfire of military actions and political decisions. As the world watches, the cries of those who have lost loved ones echo the urgent need for a resolution. With international courts calling for immediate cessation of violence and leaders promising investigations, the hope of peace remains fragile but vital.
On May 24, a tragic disaster killed thousands in Papua New Guinea, with a landslide leading to over 2,000 people being buried alive. Rescue efforts are underway, but the chances of finding survivors have been dismissed as slim.
Parts of a mountain in Anga province in Papua New Guinea's north collapsed early on May 24, burying thousands underneath it. The horrific landslide has caused loss beyond measure to the small nation of Papua New Guinea.
I have 18 of my family members buried under the debris in soil that I'm standing on, and a lot more family members in the village I cannot count. I'm the landowner here. Thank you to all those who have come to help us, but I cannot retrieve the bodies, so I'm standing here helplessly.
Locals in northern Papua Guinea were searching desperately with shovels in bare hands through muddy rubble and debris in the hope of finding survivors. Various nations and international agencies are assisting with aid, with relief teams in the Pacific nation trickling into the difficult-to-access northern Anga region, though officials said the odds of finding survivors were slim. Under the Forum of India-Pacific Islands Cooperation and as a gesture of solidarity with the people of Papua New Guinea, India extended an immediate relief assistance of $1 million to support relief, rehabilitation and reconstruction efforts. Relief efforts were further hampered by rough terrain and a lack of equipment.
But the problem is, it is so deep, it's very difficult to recover the bodies from underneath the heavy debris. And the land is still sliding, rocks are continuing to fall. The pressure that is coupled with the heavy bulk on the ground that has not been affected, neighboring, however, the debris, is leading to cracks. And furthermore, to make things worse, there is water flowing underneath the debris and the floor, soil, ground on which the debris sits. So we fear that this mud can turn the ground into a slide.
So the government's estimation for the total number of people affected by this disaster is 7,849. So that's about 7,850. Now that's a total figure of all those people estimated to be living in the area that's now been affected by the landslide. That's including survivors, casualties, and essentially, I mean, in wherever the landslide has hit, we are regarding them at the moment as being affected by it. And essentially, they all are. So everyone who's not missing from the landslide is essentially somebody who is in need of psychosocial support, in need of clean water and food and clothing, and is also trying to resolve the fate of people missing. So that's the global figure we're working with at the moment.
Papua New Guinea ruled out finding survivors under the rubble of a massive landslide, with the exact number of dead under almost 2 stories of debris and mud still unknown. but ranging from hundreds to thousands.
There is little food and water. We are hungry and asking for your help. We are not sleeping at night. We are afraid that more of the mountain will slide down and it will kill us all.
The Papua New Guinea Prime Minister James Marape has blamed extraordinary rainfall and changes to weather patterns for multiple disasters in the Pacific Island nation this year, including the landslide which may have killed thousands.
I rise with a heavy heart that the village of Yambali in the Mulitaka LLG is now no more. On the night of the 24th of May, our people in that village went to sleep for the last time, not knowing that they would breathe their last breath as they were sleeping peacefully. Nature, through a disastrous landslip, submerged or covered the village, and from our initial estimation, over 2,000 people would have perished in this disaster.
At a time like this, Papua New Guinea needs the world to come together and support the nation in rescuing survivors, help rebuild it and recover from this horrific disaster.
India successfully held the world's largest elections. The Election Commission of India efficiently used the internet as a tool for direct communication with the polling population. Impact of campaigns and initiatives on various platforms across social media enhanced voter education and electoral participation.
Social media, the most impactful and influential tool of today's times. The internet and social media revolution has affected our lives in various ways, and politics has not been left untouched either. With the growing population of digital users in India and across the globe, the spread of misinformation more than information has become an issue of concern. Voting for India's general elections this year was conducted from April 19 to June 1. With a significant number of young voters, social media played an important role in the spread of awareness among youth and first-time voters.
Elections are the most beautiful expression of India's democracy. Nothing like voting. ECI and lakhs of its officials have worked very hard over last 2 years to make your voting experience peaceful, comfortable and pleasant.
This polling season, the Election Commission of India embarked on an innovative journey to engage citizens through unique campaigns held over various social media platforms. The aim was to prepare India's electors and equip them with basic knowledge related to the voting process. In a call to the Indian youth to vote in the elections, the body had started a social media campaign, I Am Election Ambassador. Anyone on social media could share their creatives and content with hashtags #MainBhiElectionAmbassador. To make it more engaging, the ECI featured good entries posted by the users on their internet handles. As an initiative towards voter awareness and enhanced participation, various celebrities partnered and collaborated with the Election Commission of India. As a customary message, a voting day alert was sent to all users across India over the web to inform and aware the voting population about the general elections. State-wise messages were uploaded on ECI's social media platforms to nudge voters to participate in the festival of democracy. Apart from Hindi and English, posts in regional languages were also used to inform and invite voters from a particular region that helped in spreading the word to remote areas of the country with just a click. In the fast-paced digital age, ECI also launched multiple applications and websites to ease the voter identification and registration process for the citizens. Specific app designed for persons with disability called Saksham, the Know Your Candidate mobile application and the C-Vigil are among a few. The Election Commission also holds responsibility for the ethical use of social media platforms and strict avoidance of any wrongful use.
While technology has made possible many enabling features to enrich the electoral processes and make them easier, it has also posed various challenges to the democratic exercise world over. Misinformation, deep fake, and use of artificial intelligence are being increasingly used to undercut the faith and trust of the people in the electoral process. We, however, stand very firm in our resolve to maintain a level playing field and foster an informed electorate.
To allow free and fair elections for the common man, a widespread amplification and concerted effort of a comprehensive 360-degree multimedia campaign was organized on the theme Chunav Ka Parv, Desh Ka Garv, meaning the election is a festival and pride of the country.
We'll take a small break here and be back with more. See you on the other side.
In a world that never stops, where information shapes our reality, one app stands out, helps you stay ahead of time. Introducing the DD India app, your gateway to a world of news right at your fingertips. Your most trusted source of news goes global, goes digital. Explore a world of options, top stories, live updates, in-depth analysis and more. Stay informed wherever you are. Real-time alerts keep you ahead of the curve always. The DD India app, connecting you to the world one story at a time. Download now and explore the world of knowledge, insights and authentic information.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India and this is Voice of the Global South. Our planet is experiencing unprecedented extreme weather events, from scorching heat waves and deadly floods to severe storms and coral bleaching. Hence, there's an urgent need for global actions as communities around the world are facing the escalating impacts of climate change.
Our planet is getting hotter, bringing dramatic consequences for both us and nature. From scorching heat waves to devastating floods, the impact of climate change is being felt worldwide. Global warming has exceeded 1.5 degrees this year, triggering a series of extreme weather events. El Nino, a natural climate cycle, is exacerbating these conditions, leading to changing wind patterns and higher water temperatures. In the Latin American nation Mexico, the third heat wave of the season is suffocating dozens of states. Record-breaking temperatures have caused at least 48 deaths from heat stroke and dehydration. The heat is also causing blackouts and leading to the suspension of classes in several states.
There has been an upward trend in these temperatures. We have seen this increase in a very important sense for about 2 to 3 weeks. In fact, last week we had temperatures above 40 degrees Celsius in the municipality of Leon. This has made people due to the bad weather with the increase in temperatures.
On the contrary, a surprise hailstorm hit the Mexican city of Puebla, covering the streets with thick sheets of ice amid scorching temperatures that baked the country.
In less than an hour and a half, we were there in the affected areas of the region. The police, fire brigade and civil protection were deployed during the storm. We are always vigilant, understanding that this was also typical. Let's hope it doesn't happen. A lot of thought needs to be given to the issue of climate change.
In the Asian region, Pakistan's southern province of Sindh has recorded temperatures as high as 52 degrees Celsius. Major cities in Pakistan have also experienced extreme temperatures in the past week, with a forecast that the recent heat spell is set to continue till the first week of June.
I sit idly at the restaurant with these tables and chairs and without any customers. I take baths several times a day, which brings me a little relief. Also, there is no power. The heat has made us very uneasy.
In India, a severe heat wave has gripped the northern states, with Rajasthan's Churu recording 50.5 degrees Celsius. These extreme temperatures are disrupting daily life and impacting local economies. Rising sea surface temperatures in Thailand have led to widespread coral bleaching. This phenomenon is devastating marine ecosystems and the livelihoods of local communities who depend on them.
For the current climate situation, we call it the global boiling, not just global warming. This is all in correlation, as when the atmospheric temperature increases, the water temperature rises as well. It goes hand in hand. Therefore, it can be said that global warming has caused both the atmospheric and the water to have higher than normal temperatures.
Extreme temperatures throughout Asia over the past month were made worse, most likely as a result of human-driven climate change. Heavy rains in Brazil's southern state have caused record flooding, killing over 160 people and displacing 600,000 more. In neighboring Argentina, the overflowing Uruguay River has displaced hundreds of families.
Some people have lost much more, their houses and their families. So I think we are doing well, even though we are not selling milk, which is our income, but we have our animals. We don't have food, but little by little we are coming back. We came from nothing, we'll go back to nothing, and we'll start again.
An abrupt change of weather in Chile has left residents grappling with freezing temperatures as the country braces for winter. The country is experiencing its most intense cold snap since the mid-20th century.
Since 1950 onwards, in the last 74 years, we have had not such an intense cold spell in May. We have had days with even lower temperatures, but now we have a succession of 8 days with temperatures well below typical values. So we are in the presence of the longest cold spell ever reported in the capital, at least for the autumn months.
Bangladesh and the eastern states of India have been hit by Cyclone Rimal, which has wreaked havoc in causing widespread destruction, casualties and injuries. The cyclone has also led to flooding and severe damage to infrastructure and homes.
The sides of the river are broken and water entered through this side of the village. Many people are marooned. The loss is immense.
As extreme weather events become more frequent and severe, it is crucial for global leaders and communities to take urgent action to combat climate change. Our survival depends on our ability to adapt and mitigate to these impacts.
Egypt witnessed a breakthrough in urban transportation as the new administrative capital launched its first ever electric taxi service. The new capital cab offers eco-friendly rides with advanced safety features, all bookable through a convenient smartphone app. This initiative not only marks a significant step forward for Egypt, but also sets an example for sustainable mobility in emerging economies.
Egypt's new administrative capital has stepped into the future, unveiling the country's first ever electric taxi service, the revolutionary New Capital Cab. This eco-friendly initiative brings clean energy transportation to the forefront.
It's the first clean energy transportation project, a ride-hailing solution like Uber and Careem companies. What makes us different from any other company is that all our cars operate on clean energy. They are electric cars, and this of course helps in reducing pollution levels and moves us a step forward as a country seeking to use clean energy. Our taxi service is completely different from any other service.
Safety is paramount. These taxis are equipped with advanced safety features including interior and exterior cameras and GPS devices, all connected to a central control room. This ensures a secure ride for all passengers.
There are safety features in the car. There's an interior camera, which I think is very important in incidents of harassment. In terms of usage, there are a lot of families who have girls or women going out at late hours. So that's very safe for them because the interior camera monitors everything.
Passengers value the eco-friendly rides and enhanced security features. The new Capital Cab service is easily bookable via a smartphone app with flexible payment options, making it convenient and accessible for everyone. This project is not just a leap forward for Egypt's transportation system, but also a significant stride for the global south. It demonstrates how emerging economies can lead in sustainable urban mobility solutions, paving the way for a greener future.
That's it in this edition of Voice of the Global South. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on our DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. You can also connect with us on Facebook, X and Instagram, and also check out our website ddindia.co.in. From our entire team here in New Delhi, thank you for watching. Namaskar.